What have you regretted the most in your life? Also make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy. Not taking enough risks. And being such a coward during my teens and early 20s. Being a doormat and not standing up for myself when I was younger. I reached the point where I stopped eventually, but I wish I reached it earlier. Delaying a visit to my mother by a couple of hours and leaving her to die alone. If it's a case that you couldn't have known she was about to die, forgive yourself. She would. We all would. And you'd forgive me if it was you and I in that situation, would you not? Sorry for you loss, and I'm sure she knew you loved her. Not caring about my health in my early 20s. Paying for it now. Mine was the opposite. I cared in my 20s and let myself go in my 30s. Paying for it now. Being an unmotivated introvert. I'm pretty sure I've missed out on a lot of opportunities because it was just easier for me to stay at home and take the path of least resistance. It always bothers me when people on Reddit act like being introverted or antisocial is something to be proud of, because it can be such an unfulfilling way to live. I feel like I lost most of my teen years by staying home and avoiding social interaction. I was comfortable and satisfied for the most part, but looking back I got very little meaningful life experience, and there's so few memories to look back at. Even now it still feels like I'm behind everyone else because I missed all these experiences and lessons that people had when they were younger. Not asking out that redhead girl. I guess we all had that one redhead girl. Not educating myself in personal finance. Hurting someone I deeply care about CS times. Wasting years of my life with shitty girlfriends. But I never realized they were shitty until years after the fact because people told me it was my fault. Took a few months of therapy to realize that I was not the shitty one. This one hits home for sure. But we have to date the shitty ones to find out what we actually look for in a partner. That time was not wasted, it was lessons learned. When you start to see it in that light, the whole perspective changes. I got out of a very toxic relationship last year and Idaco's shined a whole new light on my life. Took therapy to see everything clearly. But now that I do, Idaco's absolutely amazing. Doesn't matter what shit you have done. Everyone has regret something at some point. What really matters is that you made up for it by becoming the best version of yourself. Negative self-sabotaging posts like this is what keeps them in the dark. Well said. Getting married. I am long since divorced, but why did I ever marry Haraz? Deleted. Typing the word of instead of have. I don't regret anything I have done, only what I have not. Not going to therapy until my life was already out of control. My father died suddenly when I was 19 years old. My biggest regret was never telling him Akti loved him. It was not because I did not love him, it was not something boys did in my family. My biggest regret. A mistake I never made again. I been so fortunate to have two great sons. I broke the stigma in my family of males saying Akti love yukal they know. Not so much as regret as learned. Regret is such a wasted emotion. I have learned to take advantage of every opportunity, because I squandered some very good ones earlier in my life. I have learned to treasure the relationship I have with my wife, because I was marred before and lived in misery. I have learned to better balance my work/life routines, because I was way out of equilibrium in my 20s. I have learned to treasure my friendships, because I have found out how fleeting life really is. Cheating on Kat. She didn't deserve it and I'm still paying for it today. I hope she's happy where she is. Playing WoW through my teens and early 20s. With me it was EVE Online. As what Morgan Freeman said in movie SE7N, not making children. I know I made the right decision, world being what it is, but not a day goes by I wish I did no caught. You could still adopt. Plenty of children out there in need of love and support, love. Wasting my high school years fucking about instead of investing in the Schoolacos curriculum my parents worked their asses off for to make sure I had access to. Excessive alcohol consumption. I'm ready for the hate it may bring, but cheating instead of having a hard conversation about my relationship. I knew I wasn't happy in the relationship and that led me to cheat, which led to a horrible 6-year relationship. Granted, I've learned a lot since then, 18 and 32 now, but I never feel like I can't outrun that regret. Wasting time in bad relationships. Wasting my time with people that just did not give a shit about me. Not taking care of my teeth/body better. Wish I drank more water. I think I drank more water in the past 2 years than I ever have in my whole life. Water is the tits. Not being there with my dad as he was dying in the hospital. The day before his last surgery, I went to visit him with the best intentions of spending the whole day with him, but an hour later, I felt I had better things to do. He kissed him on the cheek, and he held my hand tight. Not wanting to let go, and I told him not to worry, I'll be back next week. He knew already that he wasn't going to make it out of surgery and just wanted to spend time with his son. Again. This question gets asked daily. Bienvenido a Reddit. Wasting years on a selfish person. Being born. Not seeking mental health help sooner. Not being the person I wanted to be and doing the things I wanted to do. Being fearful of doing what I want to do and wasting money on stuff that won't make me happy. I did not truly understand the level of sacrifice, effort, devotion, commitment, guts, grit, courage, and so much more that it took for my mom to raise 2 children by herself. In the 80 Ocos, it was frowned up to be a single mother in the 80 Ocos no matter the reason, after dad died of cancer. I still don't nor wanna be able to fully comprehend it, but I know enough to regret so many things. Chioko's been gone for 10 years now and I appreciate her more each day. My first wife. A girl I was interested in. Asked me if I was interested in her. I was. I said no. She looked stumped like it was the wrong answer. I feel like my life could have gone in a different direction from that specific point. Why did you say no? Not buying a house in 2009 when I wasted my opportunity sitting in the 6th grade. Looking back, that could have changed my whole financial situation. Probably not obtaining enough wealth to help out more people around me. Haven't really lived a life doing things I would regret. Bullshitting myself into thinking that my past relationship was fine. Continuing with the usual routine for years without breaking out of my comfort zone. I passed up a threesome. I don't regret it deeply, but I now instead have the I could have had one story which sounds made up and also who cares. So basically I just regret it. BC I cannot say I have done it, not BC of the experience. Be frugal and save/invest most of my income sooner. When I realized it was too late, I spent too much on unnecessary things and deep in debt. To top it off, there is a good chance I might get laid off in the near future. Not taking more risks when I was younger. Being born and not swallowed. Smoking weed. How many years have you been on it? For me 15 to 25, so 10 years. The decision not to have children. You can still adopt. Honestly, I regret the day I ever looked at porn. I've come so far in my life and worked so hard at many things, but porn followed me for a long time. I've been trying to wrangle myself free of it for years, but just now making progress. If I could change one thing about myself, I would keep myself from ever seeing that stuff.